I'm going to do an unboxing and a teardown of the MPG Z890 Edge TI Wi-Fi. I was going to go with the AMD 9950X, but I do more video editing and more workload than I do with than gaming. I used to game a lot, and if I was still gaming, if I get back into gaming, I'll probably build me actually, honestly, two separate systems. But I am going to pair this with the Core Ultra 7 265K. I just can't justify spending for like a 2 or 3% increase for the Ultra 9. Now, if this video gets to Intel can for sure send me something, or if MSI likes my review and teardown of this, they're more than welcome to. But anyways, I do already have this one in the Z790. I will say though, I do like the board, but if you were strictly a gamer, what I would do is I would get the Asus E variant. The Asus E variant, it gives a couple of extra things to it. Both boards, you can't go wrong. I like my white build. I have a white computer build, so I really do like that. So let's go ahead and get it opened up. And first thing we get in here, well, let's go over some specs real quick. So it says ready for AI PC. Everything has to be AI nowadays, right? So we got 5 gig LAN instead of 2.5. We got Wi-Fi 7. It is the MSI Performance Gaming MPG. The next one up from this is the Carbon. From the Carbon, I believe it's either the Udify or the MSI Ace, vice versa, and then they have their Godlike. So you can go downwards and get the Tomahawk. Anything else that it says on here? Let's go on the backside real quick. So the power delivery system is 16 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Premium thermal. Your M.2 heat shields, of course, Gen 5. From the old Intels to now, like a 14900K, they only have, inside the CPU, they only have 20 lanes. Now with this one here, we have 24 lanes. I was hoping for 28 lanes, but really and truly, we need like 32 lanes is what we really need. That's what we need. We need a workhorse gaming. If we want to do gaming, we should be able to do both with how much money these people are charging. But on the 14900K, if you populate the M.2 with a 5th gen SSD and your 4090, 4080 or whatever, you're going to cut your bandwidth to 8 times 8 times, which in terms in gaming is only about a 4 or 5 frame difference, frame rate, which is about 1 or 2%. Now, when it comes to video editing or anything else, it's actually kind of a bigger hit. Anyway, so again, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, the 5 gig LAN, 2 Thunderbolt 4s. So I know there's 2 on here. Easy PCIe release, and that's about it. You got some more down here, the socket, the chipset, so on and so on, which we're fixing to get into here. So the first thing first is we do get our Wi-Fi antenna, which is in this box right here. So it's not like a super white. It is really a grayish color white. And I'm going to probably assume, since I already have the Z790, the motherboard isn't going to be complete white. If you want to go white, like that ice white, that's why Gigabit says ice, then you need to probably go with a Gigabit motherboard. But anyways, come on here. These just plug in just like this right here. Something like this, right? See if I can get it on there. What I am going to like about these versus the other ones is these are just slide in. I'll show in a little bit. They just slide in. There's no screw on here to actually screw it into the motherboard. Next is we're going to go ahead and grab the motherboard out. I'm actually making a second take. I tried to do a video a little while ago, and I didn't like the way it came out, so I'm redoing this video. So this was all my pillage, all the pillage off of it. So you get the European Union regulation notice, you get a quick start installation notice, you get a shout out. I'll look at all this later. You get your sticker badges. Now, I don't know too many people who actually use this, but if you're one of the ones, a younger generation that just wants stickers on everything, then get it. A lot of people don't actually realize it's covered up anyways with the CMOS battery. MSI actually gives you these little cute little covers on them. I don't know if like the Tomahawk and stuff like that with the CMOS battery is showing and don't have no thermal guards over them. If you know they put this in there, but anyways, you want to label your SATAs, you want to label your fans, you want to label your RGB. I mean, you get a sticker book. You get a couple of SATA ports. Boo. I believe this is. So this is. I do like this. It's a USB. Okay, let me get up in the camera. So it's USB and this is an extension. So if you're running like a hub or a AIO that takes the that has a USB side on it, so you plug this into the motherboard and then you run this and it gives you that little extraness. So you're not. A lot of times at the bottom inside the case it's really tight. So you can just grab it there. So this one here, I really do like this. It has its own proprietary plug right here. And what it does is you plug this into the motherboard and then you have this much room in the backside of the case. Well, you can add another USB hub. You can add another 5-volt header or another fan header. Mine would be the USB, this one right here. This is probably the one that I will use. I'll probably add an extra USB right here. Or again, if you have an AIO or something and you don't want to reroute everything and have, you know, takes away some of the cables. So again, I wish that it was the same color as the motherboard, but you got an M.2 screw, key screw, if I can speak. I'll show you that here in a little bit. We're going to go ahead and leave that one out. You got some extra M.2 screws in here. I think, what, 4 of them total. And then you got the USB with all your drivers for your network, your motherboard, and Bluetooth and audio and everything else, but you really don't need this. So if I was you, if you're running Windows 10 or 11, which you should be, I'd leave this in the box because what happens is whenever you install, MSI Center is automatically going to install for you once you load up your first time into Windows. It's one of the things that does automatically install. So let's go ahead and go to the next and zip this down and put it over to the side. Oh, actually, we'll leave it right here so I can prop it up. Open this up. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I have the new APNX V1 case coming. I'm going to also do a teardown of it. Then I'm going to, when the rest of my water cool, I got also an Alpha Cool Core 1 distro plate coming in. And once it's all in, then I'm going to actually do a build video. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. If you like content like this, if something's excuse me, if you like stuff like this and you want things that it's worth your hard-earned money, you know, 2024 and now we're in 2025 now. I mean, things are just expensive as heck right now. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start on the back I/O real quick. So on the back I/O, we have 9 regular USB. So you got 4 USB 10s. You got 4 USB 5s. You got 1 USB 2.0, which is your flash BIOS. You got 2 Thunderbolt and then 1 USB-C 10 gig and HDMI. And then you have this. I wish that they would have did it backwards. I wish they would have did the BIOS flash shorter. Let's see if I can get it in the camera real quick. I'm trying to look at the camera at the same time. So if you notice, this one here protrudes out further. That's actually the clear CMOS button, and then the BIOS flash is here. So if you do your flashes through the USB and you got to hit here, you got to watch out because it's going to clear the CMOS. But at the same time, honestly, whenever you flash your BIOS, it clears out your, when you upgrade your BIOS, it clears out anything that you have in there anyways. Then we move down to the new Wi-Fi 7. And then we have an optical, a mic in, and a speaker out. It is very slim on this audio. So, I mean, if you're a big audio person, then maybe look elsewhere. But if you really like this board, you might need an add-in card, just so you know. So here we go for the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi they do have outer threads on them. So you should be able to use like the screw-on ones or buy an extension if you like an extension. But I don't need it, but these right here is this. That's it. You just push it in, pull it out. Push it in, if I can hold it straight, and pull it out. That's it. Nice, easy, clean, built-in I/O shield. So I love the fact that they started doing these built-in I/O shields for pretty much everything. All right, let's get to it. So one of the first things that a lot of people might see or might not see is where the CPU power is. Look at this. CPU power used to be right here. Now the CPU power on these MSI boards is right here. I really like this. Whenever you're building your PC and you put your AIO up top, and you say you have your, which you should have your hoses coming this way instead of this way, depending on, you know, the direction you like. But you can block a lot of this. A lot of times this is really, really hard to get to. Cases are really small on that back side, right on this side of the case. So I really do like that they moved it here. So we're going to start right here. We have a J plug right here. We have the system fan 2s right here, which I'm glad that they moved them away, because some motherboards used to put them, I think even MSI used to put one right down here by the CPU, and you'd have to try to route the wires. I like that everything's on the outside of the motherboards now. That's just a really, really good feature that they did. So anyways, then you got your power supply, your CPU power right here. You got another fan header. You got your AI pump, which is a grayish color as well for your AI or CPU pump. Another fan header. Now, one thing that I wish that they would have did is this board isn't like white. Some of these accents on here are white, if I can get that shine away from it. So if you can see right here, this right here is white. This right here is white. MSI right here is white. Everything else is a gray silverish. I wish they would have continued with all the plugs, that gray silver. I think would have made it really, really clean. So continue work down. So you do have some LED debug lights, but you also have the postcode reader. These are really, really nice. So say you get a code that says, you know, 5C or 52, whatever, you go look it up, or you go to MSI's website and it gives you the readout, and then you don't have to do guesswork of what this debug looks like, you know, the light. So if green is, you know, one of these says CPU, and I mean, it's so small too. I have glasses on, I can't even read it. But you got like CPU, DRAM, and something else right here, only because I know I'm building computers for so long. But what a lot of people don't know about this, if you go into the BIOS, I don't care if you got Asus or MSI, I believe Gigabit does it as well, and so does ASRock, but I know Asus and MSI for sure. If you go into Motherboard, you go in there and you set this to tell you the temperature. So whatever the temperature is being read for the CPU is here, and if you know, open up hardware information, hardware info, or whatever, it will literally be the same temperature here that is being broadcast in hardware info. So that is a really cool feature right there. And then we work our way down. You got your 24-pin power. Here's that easy connect where when you plug it in, it comes out to the USB, the 5-volt, or the extra fan header. So here's your front panel for your USB 3.2, I believe. I believe it's USB 3.2. If I turn it to the side a little bit here, here's your USB-C. You got 4 SATAs, which, I mean, if you're still using SATA, I mean, I guess, you know, to each is his own. I say M.2s is the way to go for everything. No matter what, if you populate this, it's still going to take away from other parts of the board. But you got your SATAs right here. Come down here, you got all kinds of little bitty junctions and TPMs and everything else. You got your front header for your power, your reset switch. You got your 5-volt. You got another fan, USB, another 5-volt, fan. Some more plugs. I don't know if this one here is, because MSI used to be the one that would put these Corsair type plugs. So I don't know if that is one of the Corsair plugs right there. But anyways, you got another 5-volt. I believe this is a 4-pin 12-volt right here. And then here you go, you got your audio right here. So first thing first is right here, it says push and lift. I wish that they would have just left a sticker here and didn't engrave that on there. I like more clean. I think that MSI should have been there, and then the Dragon, or, you know, MPG, MSI, whatever, that's fine. But anyway, so when you push it and you lift it right up and it comes right off. I mean, it is that simple. It is toolless. You'll see everybody just rave about that. I don't know if I said already, but this is a non-sponsored video. No one sponsored this video. My wife and I, we're about the only ones. So MSI, hopefully I do a good job for you. Maybe you'll send me something. Go ahead and send me that guide. Like, I'd like to try that bad boy out. I'll build a whole new black build for that. But anyways, so just pull forward a little bit, and it comes right off. So we'll put that there. So easy, quick latch right here. I'm going to get to these here in a minute because MSI actually added something extra, and I just wish they would have added it to this one as well, which they didn't. Anyway, so again, with the bottom one, you just push, lift it right up. Same thing when you're putting it back on, it just slides right in and then pushes right back down, and you're there. So we're going to pull it up, put it down. They all do have thermal pads on it. This board takes 5 M.2. So here's 2, 3, 4, plus your 5 Gen M.2 up at the top. Don't forget, I don't care what manufacturer you go to, these right here, they peel up. You don't want to leave this little sticker on there. You'll overheat your system. So the board is pretty, right? Again, I wish that they would have went with gray on this, gray on these, just like they did here. I think that if all this was gray, or at least shielded, aluminum shielded, like the PCI Express 16 is, they're not shielded here on the DRAM. I think, or the CPU power, they're not shielded at all. But I wish they would have shielded those or color coded them. One thing that I did forget at the bottom, we do have another 8-pin down here at the bottom. Now this 8-pin here is supposed to, according to everything, is this one here supplies extra power to the video card. So what happens is when you got everything, USB's populated, your RGB's populated, everything's populated, you're putting voltage and power into everything, right? So this, and that takes away from this bottom half of the board. So this is feeding the CPU, and some of this, the 24 pin, and the 24 pin feeds as much as it can. The CPU feeds the RAM and the CPU. That's why they're called CPU power up here at the top. And get it in camera. These here are CPU power. So it powers the CPU and everything. 24 pin helps put more power into it. This one here is supposed to give extra power for this lower half right here, especially for 4090s and 5090s, and possibly 4080s, possibly. But I think it's mainly for your higher end video cards, because a lot of people ain't just going to go buy, $1,500 motherboards just to go with their 5090 or 4090. But anyways, so because I forgot that down here. Oh, and you also have, if you don't want the little bit of RGB that's right here, you can actually turn it off with this little switch right down here, the LED switch. So hopefully okay, it's on. It says on, off, LED switch. So I want mine on. It's just a little drag and it's fine. One other thing, this right here, this little latch, get this up closer into the camera. So it's just a push latch. And if you look right here, whenever I push it, look at that. So when you put your video card in here, so right now it's open. Put your video card in here, hold that video card, snap it right there, it's in place. So on the older gens, or last gen, like the Z790, I think it started with the Z690. It might have started with the Z590, but I know for sure that most companies went with it on the Z690. You would push this and it would just release, and sometimes it would still hang up some. So as you're trying to get your card out, the little J hook that goes in here, some people would actually break them off. So that kind of helps out a little bit with that. What else before I start tearing apart everything on here? Again, audio's underneath here. It says Audio Boost 4. I don't know what Audio Boost is. You might look that up if you're worried about the audio. But most people, most gamers, are not worried about using this audio here. They have a separate, like a Astro headset, SteelSeries headset. They have something else that they are actually doing for their audio. Me, I use a sound bar, like just what you would have in your living room. I have a Vizio sound bar, and I use between Bluetooth and optical. Optical, of course, is the best, but I just pop it into the optical cable. Optical cable goes there, and then I use my Sonar GG for my software. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get this. Get these heat sinks tore off real quick. All right, well, before I bust it all apart, so grab me a M.2. So what you're gonna do, you stick it in here. So it is the quick latch. So you just turn it and then latch it down and you're done. But now where MSI took it one step further, which I wish they left one here, check this out. So you put your M.2 right here, one finger, watch, done. That's it. I'm bringing it up a little bit closer. Look at that. I'm just gonna take it off, and do one more. Put it in. That's it. You're done. It's just they just barely move, and it locks them in and out. I mean, really, really nice design. I really like that. Again, I wish you could take them off here. And then here's the tool that I was talking about for the M.2s. So if you have a smaller one, or say like on this one right here, the hole is right here, comes with a little tool, and you can sit here and you can take them off and then move it to the next hole down wherever you need it to be at. So really cool design. I really do like that. Again, they do keep a couple of extra ones. So if you want to take these locks off of these two right here, you can do that as well. Just remember though, like earlier I was talking about the 24 lanes. Just remember, you can now put your 5.0 or 5 times M.2 here and your video card without cutting your lanes in half. But if you populate both of these up with Gen 4s, then it's going to take from here. So like me, I'm going to have a 2 terabyte here, a 2 terabyte here, Gen 4s, and then a Gen 5 2 terabyte here. So I do like these quick releases. That way me, for like my video editing, if I need to come in here and I need to, you know, take out the hard drive and take it somewhere else, since it's not going to be a bootable OS, I can do that as well. So really nice, really cool design there. So we're going to go ahead and turn it on over, and let's go ahead and start. Again, non-sponsored, but man, let's be like J2 Cents. Get your iFixit, your iFixit kit. They do it so much better. But anyways, let's go ahead and grab this out. And let's start with the PCH first. Looks like I need one a little bit bigger. Don't want to destroy it. So whenever you take these off, you'll notice that a lot of them are pretty loose on here. So whenever you get a motherboard, you might want to go ahead and just double check these screws back here. They don't need to be Gorilla tight. So, but they also don't need to be loose. You need to make sure that they have in contact on them. Turn it over real quick. There we go. So I believe it's a 2 millimeter thermal. You can get it in the picture. Thermal pad there. I believe that's a 2 mil. So this is the PCH, or also considered your South Bridge. And what this does, this controls the lower half of this motherboard. And then your North Bridge, or your CPU, and everything up here, North motherboard, South motherboard. So again, this controls your SATA ports. This controls the bottom 2 PCI Expresses. What else? Controls your USB, stuff like that. You can't take all that power off from the CPU. So that takes its own. That's what I was saying a minute ago, that the extra power here for your video card, it's going to give extra, it's not take away from too much, because if it had to start taking power from the top, then you're going to be limited on certain powers in a different direction. All right, so let's go ahead and take off the big heat sink here. I'm going to try not to, don't get your screws mixed up. That way, if you ever have to warranty out your motherboard, you try not to mar them too much. But each of these had their own spots for them. So these here, they have a little white ring around them right there, where the PCH, they are different. They have black and they have blue thread lock on it. But yeah, it's not that scary. If you're noticing maybe your VRMs aren't being as cool, I mean, you can possibly come in here and change out the thermal pads, get maybe a better thermal pad. Some of the manufacturers, they don't put some of the best thermal pads sometimes on these. Normally they're sufficient. I mean, they do put theirs through some tests. See here, did I get all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Just be very gentle. There is a wire underneath most of these. Oh, there's a little bit more peelage I forgot. All right, let's go ahead. The only thing I don't like about this is this right here, this plastic piece right here. Go ahead and unplug this from the motherboard. Again, be very gentle. Here's the thermal pads. They're about 1.5 to 2 mil thickness on these. So that's the thermal pads. And like I said, you can buy other ones, replacement ones that you might think that might be better, a different, or if you like the putty style, you can do that to heat up your VRMs. Now, one thing I do see on here is on most motherboards, this right here, it's a lot more populated in here. And it's pretty bare bone in here right now. But this is what I was talking about. I don't know if I can take it. Doesn't look like it, but right here, it has this plastic thing on here. And it doesn't look like it can, I really don't like it, but I guess it is what it is. That'd be the only thing here. I just wish this went all the way. I don't know why they added that there, and it Take some of the dragging off as well. I don't know. I guess it is what it is, right? Let's see what else we can go in here and look at. But yeah, you can see everything on the board. Everything's clean. The brand new socket right here. Let's go ahead and open it up. So again, nice, clean, no bent pins. We can see there in the video. Get up closer. No bent pins at all. Brand new board. But yeah, no, it's a really clean looking board. Like I said, there's a few things that, I mean, for right at, you know, $370 plus tax. I mean, I think that these should have been reinforced for the DDR5. They did the one for the AIO or your pump right here a different color. I think that all these should have been, you know, the color of the board. I think would have made it a little bit cleaner. Like I said, if they would have did all that and then this one black one here, because see, they did the 5 volts in the gray, and then they did the AIO pump or your pump right here in that gray color, that gray white color here. So I just don't see why they couldn't have just did the other ones too the same way. Anything else? I'm trying to think. No, it's just it's a clean board. I'm ready to get it all hooked up. I believe, I'm not sure if it is the MSIs, but they still have the mounting plates that for the 1851 socket. But I believe the way, I think it's MSI. It might be Gigabit. One of them made it where there's no need for it the way they made this. And I think that it is MSI. I'm not for sure. Where you don't need the mounting plate on there. Well, you got to remember with the mounting plates, and a lot of people would have like certain RAM problems. If you don't have the Newton torque wrench from like EK or something, or have a little bit Newton wrench, if you don't get these tight where they need to be at, you'll have RAM instability. So for instance, on my Z790, I had to play around with mine a little bit because you're supposed to tighten them down, you know, do your angle, your angles on them, tighten them down, and then barely snug them, right? So the first time I did it, I tried to boot up the computer and I had no RAM whatsoever on it. Then I went back through, I took it back apart, put it back together. Then I had RAM on it, but the RAM was unstable. You know, it wasn't stable enough or unstable. I, you know, did some more research on it as well. And a lot of people are saying if you're getting it too tight. So this right here, there's a certain pressure that this puts onto the CPU. And if you don't have that correct pressure, then you're going to have some instability. So this go around here, unless we find later on that it is warping the motherboard at all, anything is warping it, then I will, I'll get the mounting bracket later on. Because obviously, you know, Grizzly's going to come out, Devour is going to come out with one for this, or for this socket if it's not already out. You know, they did real good, made real good money. So why not continue it? This so people think that they have peace of mind putting it on there. But yeah, again, non-sponsored video. If you like the video, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'll leave a link to this to my Amazon affiliate link down below. I'll leave a link to a couple of things and a couple other things that I have. Affiliate links, anything that's bought from there, just helps out the channel. But again, I'm ready to get it apart. Again, like and subscribe. I do have that APNX V1 case coming. I'm going to be doing a teardown of it. I have the AlphaCool Core distro coming. I'll do a review of it. And then once all that comes in, I am going to do a PC build. But once again, I'm Thomas of Tomology. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.